It is approximately 11:38 p.m. So tonight's topic of discussion are tariffs. So let's see how many people we could get into the room here. Waiting for some more people to show up. What's going on, Transient? Good to see you. Welcome. Oh, come on. Trying to pull something up here. Here we go. Uh, Damn, I just had it. What's going on, Emerald? Yes, tariffs. We are talking about tariffs. Here we go. I hope. I'm trying to pull something up. It's not working. Oh well. I'm so mad. I just closed it. I can't find it. Uh, you guys gotta give me a minute here. Driving through snow in Arizona. Wow, I'm surprised. On Saturday it was like 79 degrees here. I couldn't believe it. The next day it was like 50. Crazy weather we're having this year. Uh, where is it? I'm looking for. Come on, what is going on with this? It's pissing me off here. It's gonna have to be good enough. No, this isn't what I want. Damn. Let's see. No. Man, I had this really good graphic about tariffs and now I can't find it and it's ticking me off. I can't find it. It's ticking me off. Just give me a minute, guys. I'm really sorry about this. I'm trying to find this really good graphics. No, I don't like specialty ice cubes. It's just a standard little ice cube thing I got. Got some Bundaberg tonight. You guys can see that. I got my flash drive in there. Don't want to put that in there. See if I can make this a little better. There we go. Just got a little Bundy. Man, I wish I had not closed that little thing. Damn. Got my got my Tito's here. Got this on the weekend. But yeah, drinking my Bundy from Australia. That's crazy. Flagstaff, Arizona has snow. That's insane. Uh, where is it? I can't find it. Man, They had such a good graphic. I'm trying to look for this graphic that Fox News actually had on their website somewhere. It was really good. It basically showed, okay, so currently there are a ton of countries that have tariffs on US goods, right? And if you look at the tariffs on the US goods into these countries, you'll realize that the US has actually been getting screwed. Okay, these countries have already had tariffs imposed on US goods, and the tariffs that the Trump administration just imposed are actually less than the reciprocal tariffs that these countries already have in place on us. So we're actually trying to level the playing field in most cases. We're not even imposing tariffs that are more than existing tariffs already on most of these countries. It just had a really great list of tariffs that were already in place. I think it showed like Vietnam had like a 90 something percent tariff or something already on us, and we only have like, I think we it's like 46% now Trump just imposed. So I mean, some of these tariffs, actually most of them are a lot less than the reciprocal tariffs that these other countries have already on importing US goods. And we're honestly just trying to level the playing field. So my wife will never allow it in our house again. What if I send you a little bottle from Australia, or maybe I'll send a big bottle over. I don't know if they have it. I think I did see it before in the States a long time ago. I haven't really looked. They might have it. Nice, nice. Argo juice. Yeah, St. Patty's Day. I could tell you some stories about that. I'm just, man, I'm just trying to look at that graphic. Man, it was so sweet. It was like this. It was like this comparison of tariffs that we imposed versus existing tariffs already that these countries already have on our goods. So I would have loved. Okay, I can't. Man, I really wish I didn't close that graphic. It was really good. Anyways, so I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the tariffs? I honestly think most of these tariffs are actually a good thing. It's actually leveling the playing field for the U.S. A lot of these countries have been taking advantage of the U.S. for far too long, and I think these tariffs are actually designed to level the playing field a little bit, because we can't obviously we can't compete in manufacturing costs. The cost of manufacturing most things are not economically feasible in the U.S. For most industries, not all industries, but I really wish I could have shown that tariff. But I do have countries here listed, and I do have the tariffs that are imposed on the countries. So Mexico and Canada are only getting the 10% tariff. Okay, most of South America is getting the 10%. Guyana, it looks like 38%, and I guess that's French Guyana. I guess that's French Guyana is 20%. Um, So yeah, you look at China, 34% tariff. These countries, guys, they already have higher tariffs on US goods. When they import US goods, they're already charging us, for the most part, higher tariffs. So these are actually fairly, some of them are, most of them are fairly close, and they're actually less tariffs than the other countries are charging on us. So I think the tariffs are actually going to be a good thing in the long term. I think there's going to be some short term pain for long term gain, uh, but I think it's going to be a good thing. Honestly, I think it's gonna level the playing field a little bit more for the U.S. It's going to be better. It's going to be more competitive because we've actually been giving most countries an unfair advantage, and that's why we have such a huge trade deficit, because we're already paying these tariffs that are more than we're imposing on them. And I just had, I'm so ticked off because I just had the graphic where they compared the existing tariffs on US goods compared to the tariffs that were just put in place, and you could see most of the tariffs are more than what's already in place on most of the countries, most of the top trading partners. So let me see the chat. I can't find this graphic. Yeah. Um, you see Ford's in the Philippines. Well, I'm pretty sure Ford has a production plant in China. I'm pretty sure they produce cars there, and they probably export it to the Asian market, probably from China. It wouldn't surprise me. China blocks our internet companies too. Yeah, that's right. Hey, what's going on, El? Good to see you. Hey, don't ask what's going on. Hey, Mustard, good to see you. Good to see you, Mustard. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. In China, the Great Firewall, they block a lot. They block a lot of access to a lot of information, not only from the U.S. but from within their own country. They block uh, people who speak out against the government. They block a lot of people. Most people in China don't know what happened in Tiananmen Square in the 80s. That is completely blocked and suppressed. There's no Facebook. There's no Google. There's no YouTube. A lot of them use to change their IP addresses, stuff like that. But still, the majority of people in China don't know what's really going on, um, as far as anything that is challenges the narrative that the Communist Party wants to project. Let's just put it at that. Hey, what's going on, Southeast? Good to see you. Yes, exactly, Mustard. Like I was just saying, most of these major countries have already had tariffs on the U.S. People don't realize this. Most of these tariffs are more than the tariffs that Trump just put on these countries. So we're just trying to level the playing field. And most of these tariffs are not even as high as the existing tariffs that these countries have on US goods. People don't seem to realize this. People say, "Oh, things are going to go up in price, blah blah blah." But you know what, guys? It Some of these companies, yes, they might pass along the higher costs, import duties, uh, to the consumer, but ultimately, in the long run, I think it's going to create a lot more revenue. And like I said, there's going to be short-term pain for long-term gain, because I think it's not going to spur an increase in manufacturing too much in the U.S., but it might, in some industries, it might actually almost level the playing field where some companies might say, hey, it might be more cost effective for us to actually bring it back domestically and start producing this domestically, or maybe there's going to be countries that negotiate trade deals that are better for our country and for their country, and the tariffs might go away or greatly decrease. And then those companies are probably going to relocate to those countries. You actually saw a lot of this happening over the past, I'd say, even 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 before Trump. The first Trump administration. More than at least 10 years. There's been companies trying to outsource, get out of China, not just for political reasons, but because the cost of labor has gone up dramatically to manufacture in China. And the political instability of China, you know, essentially in some cases, you got to play by, in all cases, you have to play by their rules. And if you don't, then goodbye. You have to give them a certain percentage control of the company. You have to play by their rules. You have to, there's all sorts of stipulations, and they're making it tougher and tougher for companies to operate in that environment. And a lot of companies are actually relocating to other parts of the world. They're going to Vietnam, another communist country. And a lot of times, China will actually set up their companies in Vietnam. So essentially, you're basically exporting the raw materials to Vietnam. You're setting up in Vietnam, and it's essentially Chinese made goods. You have people from China working in these factories in Vietnam. They're not hiring local Vietnamese. They're basically Chinese sweatshops in Vietnam, to try to save costs. It's crazy, but that's the reality of what's going on right now. Um, so I think in the long term, these tariffs are going to be helpful for not just the U.S. but for everybody, because it's gonna provide better trade deals for other countries aside from us. This this is just leveling the playing field for the U.S. We've been taken advantage of for far too long with these tariffs that are already in place, and people don't seem to realize that there already is exactly tit for tat. You'll probably get a margin call. Yeah, a lot of foreign car companies have manufacturing plants both in Canada and in Mexico. So they're whining and complaining now, and Trump is like, I don't give a damn. And you see, a lot of these car dealerships are going out of business across the country. These car companies have gotten extremely greedy since the pandemic because the price of cars have gone up significantly, and they don't want to lower prices. They just keep increasing it dramatically, and you're seeing a lot of these retailers, these, especially look at these pickup trucks. The prices of these pickup trucks is insane. You're like, pre-pandemic, I don't know specific, I'm not going to list prices specifically, but they've gone up dramatically. Um, and it's still the case. I mean, you'd think, now that production is back ramped up, that they could produce these things cheaper now, but no, they just keep increasing in price. Um, and then there's tariffs on steel now. So, they're going to get a double whammy. There's tariffs on importing steel, and there's tariffs now in Canada and Mexico. So these car companies are whining. Well, in the first place, they were the ones who decided to move the jobs overseas instead of keeping them in the U.S. So, um, I think you're going to see some car companies move some of their production back to the U.S. In fact, I forgot which company. I think it might be Toyota. I'm not 100%. It's either Honda or Toyota. they're actually opening up brand new car production plants in the U.S. Trump made a deal with that guy. What's his name? Masayoshi-san. I forgot. I think he's with It's called SoftBank. SoftBank. I think that's the company. Yeah, it's basically a Japanese multinational investment holding company, and they basically partnered with one of those companies to open up a plant in the U.S. to produce, cars. And if they can do it economically feasible, if it's economically feasible for Honda or Toyota to open up a new manufacturing facility in the U.S., why can't these other companies do the same thing now? Hey, what's going on? Aloha, Silver Sleuth. I didn't see you. Yeah. Empire, Precious Metal, FN Gross. No, I didn't. I didn't check that out. I don't really watch his videos too often. But yeah, we could get off topic. We don't have to talk about tariffs. What's going on, Silver Sleuth? So, anyways, that's just my 2 cents about tariffs. Um, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to affect the price of PMs. I'm just gonna check some prices now and see what's going on with PMs. Here we go. Wow. Yeah, I had a feeling prices would. Gold is just going crazy. I just can't believe gold right now. Silver's actually down, surprisingly. Silver is going down, which is kind of good because I'm thinking about getting some silver. This weekend is the first weekend for the flea market here by me, and I'm really hoping that the weather's going to be nice that day. It's supposed to rain on Saturday and Sunday, so cross my fingers, but we'll see what happens. Hoping to pick up actually some silver because I haven't been buying much silver this year. I've actually gotten rid of probably about 85 ounces of silver this year so far. That's crazy. 3,169 for Pamp 1 ounce gold bar at Costco. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, and that's actually pretty close to spot. That's like $20 above spot right now, which is insane. Yeah, Buffalo. That's actually a good deal for a Buffalo. I was looking at a proof Buffalo, so it was a little bit more, but yeah, that's probably not a bad deal. And I'm kicking myself for passing on a proof Buffalo a couple years ago for 2 grand. I just keep kicking myself for that. I had the money, and the guy was holding it for me, and I said I'll be there. Excuse me, and within a half hour, it was sold. Mm. Cheers. What's going on, Broke? Good to see you. Yeah, surprisingly, the proofs don't fetch more than retail. I mean, according to Yankee to Tim, he's basically saying Buffaloes are worth the same as AGEs now. I don't know how true that is, but maybe it's true. Maybe that's what he sells them for now. So I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to pick up. I was thinking about turning in some silver. I have about 95 ounces of silver I want to turn in, and thinking about getting an ounce of gold for that. I'll go to bullion exchanges and do the transaction. So thinking about doing that before gold goes any higher. I think now's the time if I want to do it because I think the gold to silver ratio is only going to go higher. I mean, it's insane. I don't even know what it's at now. Last I checked, it was around 91. I'm sure it's already like 92, 93. I love Eagles, but would pay a bit more, I guess, for Buffalo. Yeah, get 4 1/4 if possible. And that's the thing. People keep making that argument that eventually, if gold is going to go above $10,000 an ounce, um, people want to have fractional because they could avoid any type of reporting or any type of tax implications involved with that. You don't. So, okay, so in case people don't know, I'm gonna just like go over it really quickly. So if it's a bullion coin, meaning any gold, U.S. gold, we're talking about U.S. gold coins right now. Any U.S. gold produced from 1986 onward is considered a bullion coin, and that is not taxed. Okay, if you decide to buy any type of bullion in the U.S. above 10,000 USD, they have to basically, the bullion dealer has to report it to the IRS. So they fill out a form and they don't have to tell you about it either all the time. They don't have to tell you about it. And they basically just, you know, write your information down, whatever's on your license, and they have to submit that to the IRS. So you don't, it doesn't, it's not necessarily a bad thing. People get this misconception that, oh, you know, I'm going to have to pay taxes, this and that. You do not have to pay any taxes, okay, if it's above $10,000, if it's a bullion, a US bullion coin from 1986 onward. The tax part comes in if you're talking about pre 33 gold. So, officially, according to the IRS, pre 33 gold is treated as an investment. So, if you ever buy pre 33 gold and you are reporting it, you basically should get a receipt when you buy it, okay, what you paid for it. And if you decide to sell it one day and you've had it for more than a year, then it's considered a long-term capital gain tax. Long-term, it's basically taxed as a long-term investment. So the capital gains tax of 15% would apply for the long-term capital gains. Okay, so I did actually sell a pre-33 $10 Indian, and I did have the cost I bought it at. I had the cost that I sold it, and unfortunately, I sold it to Stacks. They keep records, so I reported it on my taxes, and I actually did take a slight loss on it. So I had a net loss on my investment. So I actually did get a tax deduction because of that. I took a loss on it, not much, but it could work in your advantage. It could work in your favor in that case. Uh, but I'm sure in most cases now with the price of gold going up, you're only going to make money if you decide to sell. Hey, what's going on, B Taylor? Good to see you. Yeah, yeah. What's gold? Pre 33. Yeah. No taxes on or gains in Bama. Well, this I'm talking about federal. Hey, what's going on, Aka? Good to see you, brother. I'm drinking. I got your coaster here, and I got some Bundy here. But I'm just telling you, this is federal tax. It's taxed as an investment pre 33 gold. Officially speaking, okay. I gotta talk officially, okay. What people do unofficially is their business. I'm not encouraging people one way or another, but that's your business. I'm just telling you from my personal experience, pre 33 gold is taxed as an investment according to the IRS. So you do have to pay taxes on it when you sell it. Uh, yeah. So, no taxation without representation, right, Silver Sleuth? Yeah, so I don't know, guys. Gold is going up crazy now. I mean, I had plans to stack a little bit more of this stuff, but now it's like it's starting to get out of reach. You know, my salary is not going up, and the price of gold is. So my dollar is worth less money. Try to clean the lens here. I don't know if that helped. My dollar is worth less money, and the same amount of money is buying less and less these days, unfortunately. So I'm just glad I stacked when I did. When I first got into stacking, it was $2,500 an ounce. That's when I started stacking. I actually, if you guys watch my first video or two, I tell you about my story, how I got started, and I actually got my first gold coins in 2018. I traded three. I traded two double eagles and a eagle for a watch. That watch I paid $3,500 for. So at the time, I got the double eagles and the eagle and $500 in cash. Believe it or not. So you add that up today, and what is that? That's like $7,500. So I actually did sell two of those double eagles. No, I sold one double eagle and one eagle. I still have one double eagle, the 1907 double eagle Liberty. So yeah, I mean, I just can't believe how much gold has increased. Honestly, I don't know. This is just my opinion, but I think there's going to be a correction. I think gold is going to go down. Um, that's just my opinion. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe it won't happen for a while, but I just don't understand why gold is going up so fast, so in such a short amount of time. It doesn't. It defies all logic for me. Platinum, American president spouse, 24 karat half ounce gold. Yeah, those American commemorative gold coins are, I hate to say it, silver sleuth, but they're extremely hard to sell. I've been offered them significantly below spot, and I've passed on them because the only way I could ever get my money back is to buy it now and wait a few years and then sell it um, to a bullion dealer, probably 20% below spot, and hope to make a little bit of money because that's what my LCSs tell me. They basically buy it significantly below spot, and they basically just send them to refiners because they can't sell them. They literally sit on those coins for years, and nobody wants them. So, um, my advice to you is if you have some, try to sell them now and try to exchange it for something that's easier to trade. Maybe they would trade it for a Krugerrand or something like that, a very common bullion coin. Or if you could do an AGE, that would be optimal. That's my advice. If you still got those, like, just to you know, try to get something for them, because I know you bought them years ago and they've greatly appreciated in value. But I think you're going to be surprised when you go to an LCS to see how much you could get for them if you try to sell them, because you list them online and nobody's going to buy them. I hate to tell you. Um, I've I've been offered them for significantly below spot. If anyone is interested in a presidential spouse for under spot, significantly, I think maybe $60 or $70 under spot. Let me know, and I will get you that coin if you're interested, because they're extremely hard to sell. But I could see why people would want it for weight. It's just when you sell it, you're really gonna get significantly under spot for them. Yeah, everyone is saying to get platinum. I mean, I'm not against platinum. I have about 7 ounces of a little bit more than 7 ounces of platinum in my stack right now, and I wasn't really looking to add too much more this year, if any. Uh, but if gold keeps going higher and higher, and platinum remains pretty constant, I might decide to buy a little bit because I just can't see gold. I can't see gold continuing to go up this dramatically over the next year. Goldman Sachs is predicting that gold will be $3,500 by the end of this year. So it's anyone's best guess, honestly. I mean, that seems kind of high to me, but with the way things are going lately, we're almost at $3,200 an ounce already, and a month ago we were at 2880. you know, Anything is possible, honestly. Yeah, my LCS in Chinatown, he loves platinum. He buys mostly silver. 90% of what he buys to sell is silver. He sold a few, like about maybe a couple months ago, he sold 5,000 ounces of silver, he told me he bought. And it's a very low profit margin for him. He has to do high volume in order to make money. Otherwise, he doesn't make money. So he lists stuff on eBay. He has a store, and his actual store is like a little, like, just like a little, like, nothing. It's like in an exchange. He has a little stall in an exchange, basically. But he has a nice variety of stuff, and he gets gold in from time to time. I never know what comes in. He often buys gold below spot, and then he sells it a little bit above. So he usually gives me a really good deal on pre 33. He knows me. He knows I like gold, so um, I get some pretty good deals sometimes from him on pre 33, especially. But he only adds platinum. He's been doing this for the past year or two, and he kind of regrets not buying more gold. I don't know if he's starting to buy gold, but he basically is betting on platinum. He's been buying platinum like crazy the last couple of years. Platinum was a little bit higher, like maybe 100 $200 an ounce higher, and he that's when he started buying a lot, and then it went down, so he lost money on platinum. So he's still betting on platinum. He's holding it long term. He thinks it's undervalued. And you know what? I actually do think platinum is probably undervalued as well. I did a video a while back about platinum. So there are some applications for platinum aside from catalytic converters. There are some technologies now that are starting to use platinum, like water filtration. There's different technology applications that use platinum currently. So I think maybe in the future there might be some technology that's developed that is going to need platinum, and it might bring the price of platinum higher. But I don't see the demand for platinum necessarily decreasing. A lot of cars maybe are getting away from catalytic converters. They're starting to go electric now, so they won't need platinum for catalytic converters. But I think there's going to be other uses for platinum aside from jewelry. The main use, I think there's going to be a lot more industrial uses in the future for platinum. I could see that. Yeah, medical, space travel, hovercraft. Yeah, they might use platinum in automobile production in the future. That's a possibility as well. I know they use silver now they're using it in solar panels, silver. So and in electric batteries for electric vehicles, they're using more silver now. So I don't know. I really don't know. It's anyone's best guess. I think silver and platinum probably are going to go up in the long term. By how much, I don't know, but I do think they will go up in the long term for sure. Hovercraft. Yeah, platinum was always higher than gold when I stacked. So you're probably talking about in the early 2000s. I think that's when platinum was actually higher than gold. I think platinum was around like 1200 when gold was around 800 an ounce. So yeah, I mean, platinum really hasn't changed much in 25 years, to be honest. The price, it's gone up a little bit. Yeah, late 90s. I remember in the late 90s when silver was around $3 an ounce. It was even less than that. I remember that. For some weird reason, like my dad used to get the New York Times and read it, but for some weird reason, I would follow the price of silver and gold, especially silver. And I remember when silver was less than like $3 an ounce, which is crazy, if we think about it being that cheap. 1/20th ounce koala platinum. Yeah, I got a 1/10 from 1991, and I got a 1 ounce from 1991 as well. My 1/10 is actually graded. Is it from? I think it's from 93, maybe. It's either 91 or 93. I think it's 91. I think it's graded 69. Eagle monster boxes were 3,500. Oh my god. Wow. Silver Eagle monster boxes were 3,500. What is it? What are they going for now? Like 18,000 or something like that? I have a few 1 ounce koalas in silver. Yeah, they're cute. They're cute coins. I like koalas. They're cute. Cute coins. I'm not collecting this series. I don't think I want to start. I think when did they start the koala? Like 2015, I want to say the silver ones, the modern ones. Because what happened with the platinum ones, they started in 1988 and then they ended in 2000, I believe. And then last year, they, what was it, four, five, six? I don't know. Maybe it was the year before. It was like the 35th anniversary or something, and they made a platinum koala coin for the anniversary. So I think they used like the classic design. I'm not sure, but yeah, they started doing the platinum koala again more recently. So yeah, the kooks are definitely more sought after for sure. They're a lot more well known, I think, around the world. The 1/10 ounce gold kookaburras, they only mint 15,000 every year. They started it about 5 or 6 years ago, and each year I try to get at least two of them. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, like I said, the platinum koalas, they stopped in I think it was in 2000, I want to say, or 2004, somewhere around that time they stopped making the original platinum koala. Yes, indeed, they love their kooks. That's for sure. Definitely. Yeah, I'm fortunate. I got the whole collection minus the two 2025. I'm actually waiting for that one from somebody in Australia. So we'll see. But yeah, it was fun getting all of them. I'm glad I got the whole set of the 1 ounce. It's a fun set. It's a fun set, Silver Sleuth. All right, bro. Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm gonna try to catch your next pour. I know you tend to do it on a Sunday night, right? So I'm gonna try to catch your next pour. Take care, broke. Appreciate you stopping by. Has platinum ever been one third the price of gold ever? I don't recall. Not in my lifetime. That I know. Maybe at one point it was back in the early 1900s, possibly. Last week it was. 8, 16, 20. Yeah, it was, if you think about it. Yeah, it was. 9, 18, 27. Yeah. I can't believe it's that much less now than gold. Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy if you put it in that type of context. Yeah, up until recently, yeah, it wasn't. Oh man. So yeah, my goal in the near future is to try to start getting some more vintage silver. I know the price of silver has been going up a little bit, but I think even with the price increase, my guy is probably not gonna. I'm hoping he's not gonna charge me more than I had been paying since last year for vintage. He mostly charges me $40 an ounce for vintage. More common vintage bars. Some of the more rarer bars he charges me more, but even some of like the less common stuff he usually also charges me that. So sometimes I could get some really good deals on some um, not as common vintage stuff. Yeah. Nobody was selling or bartering platinum in my SHTF fictional novels. That's funny. That's funny, Silver Sleuth. Yeah, I don't know. That's been my strategy when prices of gold have increased is to switch to vintage. And I really wanted to downsize my silver, not necessarily get rid of too much vintage, but just all my other more modern stuff and numismatic stuff. I have been getting rid of a lot of it. Like I said, I probably got rid of 85 ounces of silver so far this year, and I have another 95 ounces. I really want to maybe trade for gold while I still can before the gold to silver ratio goes up any higher. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know, Silver Sleuth. I mean, me personally, I can't see an SHTF situation really happening. I mean, I understand if there's like, in Hawaii, especially, with the weather, I could understand there being some type of situation like that happening, some natural disaster happening. Um, but as far as like a global or a national situation, I don't know. It's possible, but I don't think it's probable to happen. But never say never. It's always good to be prepared. Absolutely, it's definitely good to be prepared in a situation. Always have some water and some food. Um, just the essentials. Now it's just a habit. Yeah, I've actually surprisingly have been finding some mercs for reasonable prices now. The prices have come down. Um, I think I'm seeing them for around 25 or 24 point something times face. I don't know if that's a good price or not, but I had been seeing them at like 26, 27. So I've actually noticed them coming down a bit in price, believe it or not, even though the I guess because the spot has come down a little as well. Yeah. Well, you were buying gold instead, Silver Sleuth. You got some awesome gold. You got all those ASCs that you bought, man. You're killing it. You're way ahead of most people on here, man. You've been stacking way longer than most of us have been. Exactly. Golden Eagles, just like I said. Just what I said. Exactly. I know you used to buy like the cheapest thing, whatever they had, the cheapest premium sometimes, and like you said, you were just stacking for the weight. So I'm sure you did amazing. I'm sure compared to 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you're way ahead of the game. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You could just sell off a little bit at a time. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for my retirement. Hopefully, I live that long, and I have something to retire. On. If you look at the prices, 20 years ago compared to now, it's like 10. Like silver is 10 times more than 10 times the price. You look at gold, it's like at least 5 times the price. So it is what it is. It's historically it's been going up the past 100, almost 100 years. It's done nothing but go up, and I don't think it goes up and down, but over time it goes up only. Snorted a monster box or two in the 80s. It's funny because I have some friends I have a friend who recently retired, and he went to school down in Miami in the late 70s, and that's when the first year or two he was down there. The price of Coke was a lot back then. Then by the early 80s, like 1980, 81, by the time he was like a junior or senior, the price it was everywhere. It was cheap, cheap, cheap as water. Um, so I could tell you some stories, but I probably should keep this family friendly. I bet, I bet. But yeah, he told me about all this stuff that he did back then in the 70s and 80s. What he told me it was expensive in the late 70s, but by the early 80s, and he was in Miami, so that was where the stuff was coming in at the time. So he was getting it dirt cheap. He always tells me a story of his roommate getting a whole ounce, and they used to have parties, and they used to. Let me let me just keep it at that. I'm not gonna say anything else, but yeah, yeah. Anyways, I'm guessing you're around his age. I'm guessing you remember Acapulco Gold and Tie Stick. What was the other one he told me about? What was it called? Oh damn, I can't remember. What was it called? Oh man, I'm trying to remember. Was it? He told me about. Yeah, he just turned. He is gonna be. I think he's gonna be 67. So like maybe 2 years older than you. So yeah, about the same age, pretty much. Maybe 66, 67. I think 1958. So five, six, yeah, 57, 67. Sorry. Yeah. It's interesting to hear, especially like being from New York City. He tells me all these stories about when he was a kid. He grew up in the suburbs. He grew up on Long Island, and he used to come into the city with his friends, and he used to go to like different music shows and stuff, or events. And he said when he used to go into the bathroom, and he's like, the further you went back in the bathroom, the harder the drug was. The guy in the front would be selling grass, and then you go back a little bit and they'd be selling like hash, and then you go back further, he'd be selling crack and crystal meth or whatever. I don't know what the hell it was, but he would he would tell me these stories, of these things he would see. Appalachia, Herb and Moonshineville. That's awesome. I lost, I lost, I lost some people talking about this stuff, but yeah, I love that. I love that show, Moonshiners. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I love that show. That show is awesome. Yeah, used to see like the Grateful Dead, and Led Zeppelin and Kiss, and all those bands, all those bands from the late 70s, used to be into that stuff. And yeah, I went with him a couple years ago. We saw Government Mule. They usually come to New York City around Christmas time, and he wanted me to go this past like Christmas. I'm like, sorry, I'm gonna pass. Not my favorite type of music. It's pretty cool though. It's rock. It's cool, but that's like his generation. Yeah. Anyways, making beer and Spo was Spo. What's up, Finn? You retracted. I caught that. I caught that. You can't hide that from me. It's too late. Yeah, so anyways, back to precious metals. So what you guys think of the tariffs? I was talking about it earlier. I don't know, some of you guys might not have heard about what I was saying about the tariffs. This is what people used to use for trade. Used to use trade dollars back in the day, especially in Asia. That's what we use, trade dollars. Yeah, absolutely. Gold is the golden standard of precious metals. You cannot go wrong with gold. Oh, I'm sure it is, Finn. I'm sure it is. Need a little yeast. I watched that show Moonshiner, so they definitely give you a 101 lesson in making alcohol on that show. Hey, what's going on, Coyote? Hey, what's going on, Karsten? It's this Guten Tag, Karsten. Speaking of beer, I think lager. Yeah, I'm drinking some rum. So yeah, that's what I was saying, Silver Sleuth. Basically, I closed it right before I got on the stream. So basically, most of these countries already have tariffs on the U.S., and the U.S. is imposing tariffs on countries that already have tariffs on us on goods that we export to their country. So most, if not all of them, the tariffs are actually less that we're imposing than these countries already have on us. Of course, because maybe they export a lot more than they import from us, it's going to hurt them more. But it's basically leveling the playing field. We're not even anywhere near, like you said, 50%. In some cases, it is 50% tariffs. Some of these countries compared to the tariffs that they have on us. What do you think about German Shepherd dogs? I don't really know about dogs, so that's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. I really don't know about dogs. I couldn't really comment on that. Yeah, and the US should become more self-reliant. I completely agree with you, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas. The US definitely has to invest in energy, alternative energy. I don't think investing in coal or oil is the right approach in the long term. Liquid natural gas in the intermediary term, and then eventually switching to hydrogen or solar or electric, I think is the way of the future. I think it's unavoidable. All these car companies are going to stop producing gas powered cars by 2030. That's only 5 years from now, guys. They're not going to be producing any more gas powered cars. So I think eventually you're going to see the phasing out in our lifetime of gasoline cars. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter how much oil, how many oil rigs or land Trump approves for oil drilling. I don't think that's the future. I don't see that as being the long-term solution to our energy independence. I think there's a lot of alternative energies out there. 20% of our energy in the US that's produced, there's also nuclear, is alternative energy or renewable energy. So there's a lot of sources out there. And I think eventually we're gonna have what's that energy? Damn, I forgot the name of it. But I'm so damn tired right now. We'll see. We'll see what alternative energy can compete without subsidies. Well, actually, solar is cheaper than coal power um, without subsidies. It's actually cheaper now. I love dogs. I see them every day. They help my day go good while delivering the mail. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Finn. You're a mailman. You're like, Scully. He basically had a ton of vintage silver. He was like the vintage silver king, and then he sold most of his collection, and he converted it to gold. And I think that was a wise investment. Yeah, yeah. I know Silver Sleuth. I know. We'll get there eventually. Chinese corporations should not be allowed to own American companies. I definitely agree with that, um, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas. And sometimes when a Chinese company does try to buy an American company, um, the I forgot what department basically says no, they can't buy it for security, either for security reasons or for other reasons. So there are some checks and balances in place before Chinese buy companies, but I agree they should not. If they do buy a company, I don't think they should be able to have a majority stake in a U.S. company. Yeah, Coyote. I haven't. I literally bought a few pieces of silver. Like this year, I bought. I basically bought this thing. Well, I don't want to show my face. I hope that doesn't show my face. Highly reflective. It's basically a 10-ounce sunshine bar for way below spot. And I bought this Year of the Monkey. I think I bought it in like January or something for a pretty good price. So I haven't really, aside from that, I've added a few vintage pieces, like 1-ounce pieces, and I've actually probably sold about 85 ounces. I have a net deficit of silver compared to the end of last year. Hey, what's going on, Check? Good to see you. Yeah, I know you were saying that on your live stream, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas. They own a lot more than you probably are aware of. Yeah, Coyote man. I went to a little coin show a few weeks ago. It was like in an Elks Lodge, and there were literally like 12 sellers there. And one guy had some really great deals on Mexican gold. I wanted to get some, um, but I decided to go with the 20 Swiss franc coin. At the time, it was like $10 above spot, and I'm glad I bought that. And I also bought a 1/10 ounce AGE to add to my capital holder collection. So I didn't really have too much money left over after that. Otherwise, I would have probably bought some, maybe sold some too. Hawaii Surf Co. Toyota owns 51% of Fender guitars. I did not know that. Fender Stratocaster. That's a cool guitar. The old ones from the 60s. Oh man, those things go for crazy money. My uncle was actually, he did part time, he was a guitar teacher, and he taught someone famous. I forgot who it was, how to play the guitar. Their car employees get a PUD deal. What is that? Personal use discount. Okay, okay. Hey, what's going on, Bellows? Good to see you. Glad you can make it. So yeah, we're talking about tariffs. We're talking about alternative. We're talking about energy. Talking about bullion. Talking about a lot of things here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be. Like I was saying, most of these countries already have tariffs on goods that are imported into their country from the U.S. So the U.S. actually has significantly lower tariffs put in place even after what Trump just did today from most countries. There, some of them are about the same, but most of them are lower than the tariffs, reciprocal tariffs that these countries have on us. So we're trying to level the playing field. There's no way that we're gonna start manufacturing a lot of things here again in the U.S. It's just not cost competitive for us to do that. It's not going to happen, but this is a way for us to be more competitive in the world market for trading. You know, if they want mostly, I'd say high tech from the U.S. You know, that's probably our biggest export I could think of. Maybe agriculture as well. Those are probably like the two biggest exports that we export currently. They're going to have to pay more for those goods. We're not going to end up paying more for those goods. They are. So it's kind of leveling the playing field, I think. I don't think there's going to be I don't think there's going to be reciprocal tariffs in place because there's already tariffs in place. They're not going to raise tariffs anymore because the tariffs that are in place are already higher than the ones that were just put in today. So it wouldn't make sense for them to increase the tariffs in most cases. They're not going to do that. I think they're going to start to come to the table now and negotiate with the US, try to work out some trade agreements where both countries can either significantly reduce or eliminate the tariffs altogether. I think it needs to happen. I think we've been screwed for far too long regarding what we pay for overseas goods. All right, take care, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas. Have a good night. Yeah, I try to buy US when I can as well. Well, maybe not when it comes to spirits. I like trying different spirits from all over the world. I didn't pay for this, but yeah, I see that coyote. I saw coyote. Canada has definitely pulled a lot of American made products, especially alcohol. I think that's the biggest one that they pull. They're saying to buy made in Canada. They're really becoming a lot more patriotic, and it kind of reminds me around the early 2000s when we had a disagreement with France, and we named French fries Freedom Fries. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. People weren't buying French wine; they were buying more domestic wine. So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But I think over time, it's gonna. I think the media is blowing this whole thing out of proportion. I think over time things are gonna start to settle down a little bit, and some trade agreements are gonna be worked out, hashed out. So we'll see what happens. I think in the short term, there's all this patriotism and all this rhetoric, in Canada with the new prime minister, the guy who's running for prime minister. I think, it's just all for show, pomp, and circumstance. I think behind the scenes, it's a completely different story, though, than what they project in the media. Free is good wherever it's made. Yeah, I try to buy US, but it's kind of hard. Um, you could you can still get made in the U.S. clothing. It's very expensive. Some stuff. I try to buy at least not made in China. I try to buy other countries. Made. You see a lot of clothes in Vietnam, unfortunately. You see Bangladesh, Dominican Republic, Mexico. I try to buy anywhere but China. I try to buy. It's hard, man. It's hard, but it's possible. With a little effort, you could definitely buy mostly outside of China, but it's not easy. Hmm. So what have you guys been buying lately with these prices? I'm kind of curious if anyone is buying stuff. I think some people started buying platinum now. They're saying platinum. Yeah, that's right. Vietnam actually has, I think, a 94% tariff, and we only put like a 46% tariff on Vietnam. So it's uneven. It's really uneven. Silver Sleuth. Maynard's Inland has made in USA sales. Yeah, they don't have a Maynard's here by me. So is that? I'm guessing that's a clothing store. I heard of it, but I don't know what it. I think it's a clothing store in Ohio. Home Depot. Oh, it's a Home Depot type of store. Okay, okay, cool. Auction items, just small items. Yeah, I got this from Spoke. He had an auction. He usually has auctions on the weekend, guys. If you want to get some great deals on vintage, he has mostly vintage for sale. He has some more modern silver as well, and occasionally he has gold. So I literally came in like the last minute of his auction, and this is what he showed, and no one wanted it. So I actually emailed him after the auction, and I got this for a really great deal, steal of a price. So he's a great guy. Usually check out on Saturdays around 1 to 2 in the afternoon, or sometimes he does Sundays as well. I think usually he does Saturdays though, between 1 and 2 Eastern Standard Time. Uh, he changes it week to week. Some weeks he doesn't do a show. He rarely announces. Sometimes he'll do like a preview on the Friday, but usually he doesn't. It's usually just a pop up. So You never know when he's gonna have an auction, but yeah, he offers some really good stuff at some great prices. I'm buying Target gold like pre-33, Liberty Head, and saving for St. Gaudens. I know gold is high. Hey, what's going on, Sentu Georgie? Good to see you here. happy Happy Liberation Day. Yeah, we're talking about the tariffs. I'll just briefly mention it again in a minute. That's great, Chet. That's great that you're getting pre-33 gold. I think buying pre-33 gold right now is actually a really good idea because if you look historically at the price of pre-33 gold, it's actually had significantly higher premiums in the past. And now I think it's pretty much like the lowest premiums it's been ever for pre-33 gold. Extremely low premiums over spot right now. So I think pre-33 gold is actually a really great buy now. And if you get nice enough pre-33 gold, have it graded. You know, you could have a great numismatic coin as well. And I think it's gonna increase in value double fold on the numismatic side and both on the spot price side. So pre-33 gold is definitely an awesome way to go right now. 1 p.m. Nice, nice. Yeah, so we're talking about tariffs, sent to Georgie. I don't know you. I know you're pretty well informed of what's going on. So a lot of these countries actually already have much higher tariffs in place. They've had higher tariffs in place, and the tariffs that the U.S. Just put in place, they're actually for most countries they're actually significantly lower than the existing tariffs that these countries have when they import U.S. goods. Like Silver Sleuth mentioned, like Vietnam, for instance, I think they have a 94% tariff on U.S. goods. And the U.S. just put tariffs on Vietnamese goods at 40, I think it's around 46%. So it's actually less than half. So there's instances where most of the new tariffs or existing tariffs are significantly lower than the existing tariffs that these countries have on importing US goods into their countries. So it's actually designed to level the playing field. Um, in most cases, the tariffs are not. In some cases, they're near where those countries' tariffs are. In other cases, they're significantly less. Hey, what's going on, Coin Sense and Nonsense? Good to see you. Man, and I really would love to see more of your videos, Coin Sense and Nonsense. I just don't have the time. I know you heavily collect vintage silver. Yeah, I think he gave China a break because we import a lot from them. They're one of our they're our largest trading partner. So I think Trump really doesn't want to um, go hard after China or Canada or Mexico. Canada and Mexico only have a 10% tariff. If you look at the tariff, they don't have. It was going to be 20 or 25%. No, it's only 10% right now. So I think behind closed doors, there's a lot of negotiation going on right now with a lot of countries. So I think that's why a lot of these tariffs are not higher than they should be. Um, we have we have Bundaberg rum from Australia. So Akadaka Stacker from Australia, he was in here earlier today. He actually sent me a couple of these bottles, and actually Peter J also from Australia sent me some, and he actually gave me this Scotch glass. So it has a grouse. It's like a little bird here at the bottom of it. Oh, so I'm just drinking this rum. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Georgie. Vermilion sends a lot of pre-33 to refiners. Ugh, that that just kills me when I hear that. What is that? Vermilion Enterprises? Are they a bullion? I guess they're a bullion dealer, right? I heard of them. I know I'm familiar with the name. I can understand if it's just like scrap pre-33. I can understand that, but some of the stuff that was straight grade, like why would you send that to the refiners? I don't understand that. You could, there's a market for pre-33. I'm sure they could sell it to another bullion dealer. They'd gladly take their pre-33. Pre-33 is pretty hot right now. Isle of Man cat gold coins. No, so that's the thing. I think it was my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I gave away 5 gold coins, right? And I was gonna give away the Isle of Man gold coin. I had the cat from 2000 and what was it, 2006, I think. But I had that, and I had a dog coin. I don't remember. One of them was I think they were both Pobjoy Mint. One of them was the Isle of Man, and one of them was uh, the other. I think it was Gibraltar. So what I think the Isle of Man coin was the dog, and is Gibraltar the cat coin? Is that where it's made for? I think it's Gibraltar, right? So I had those two, and I sold the cat coin, and I kept the dog coin. I gave the dog coin away as part of my giveaway. I think it was a 1/10 ounce uh, gold coin. I know I gave away a 1/20th ounce Libertad and that one, and I think at least one more. Maybe I gave away 3 to 5 gold coins. I don't even remember. But yeah, I sold it. I sold it to a dealer years ago. Um, that's pretty cool that you were able to get that. I'm guessing before the price went up. Yeah, I don't remember, Georgie. I'd have to go back to my live stream from my 1,000 sub giveaway. I don't. You'd have to check to see. It was like a gold dog coin, but the cat one, I think I sold. Oh, Isle of Man. Yeah, Isle of Man cat. So then the dog must have been from Gibraltar then. But they're both made by they were both made by the Pobjoy Mint. And I actually do have some Pobjoy Mint coins. I did buy here. Uh, I think you weren't interested in them, so I'm stuck with them. I'm stuck with them now. Yeah, no, unfortunately I sold it a while ago. All right, take care, Coyote. I'm gonna head to bed soon in another few minutes too, because it's 1 a.m. here. So I got work tomorrow. It's Thursday here in the U.S. So yeah, Popjoy. Yeah, Popjoy went out of business last year, right? To be a little bit more collectible. I know they made this crazy coin, their last coin. I forgot what it was. It was a silver coin, but it was really nice. I saw someone did a video on it. I don't remember who did it, but it was a nice coin. Popjoy Mint, really high quality. Yeah, no more Popjoy. I don't know. It seems like you're trying to get some Popjoy Mint coins lately. Last couple of years, Georgie. They made some nice coins. They mostly made for British overseas territory. Pegasus with the horseshoe. Yeah, I think was that the last one that they made? That was a really nice coin. I think that was the one, right? That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's so many coins that are coming out. I can't keep track of all of them. 365 and Austrian did the videos. Yeah, I think I actually saw the one from maybe it was Austrian Stacker because I don't really watch 365 too much anymore. I saw he did that video of that spoof video on how to clean the how to clean your silver. That was hilarious. That was, I think that was his April Fool's video this year. You're waiting. You want some Popjoy coins? Check. I got some with Queen Elizabeth on them from the '80s, but they're not silver. So it's a whole collection of uh, of the royal. I think Prince Charles and Diana. I have. It's like a 4 or 5 coin collection, like from the '80s. I think I paid a good amount of money for that too, and unfortunately S2G didn't want it, so I'm stuck with it. Yeah, April Fools. Yeah, last year he did that video about tracking chips inside of silver, and people, I couldn't believe how viral that video went. People kept making um, videos of like chips being like, they cut open a silver coin and they pull like they put place a chip there and like, oh, we found this chip inside the silver, they're tracking us, and it was just crazy. It's just crazy. You only want cat coins, really? You're gonna be limited in what you collect then. I mean, you could collect in Canada. You could collect the cougar coins, and some other mountain lions and stuff like that. They have in Canada, and those usually actually have pretty low premiums as well, at least here in the U.S. So saber tooth, yeah, there's probably saber tooth tiger coins out there, I'm sure. You should reach out to Tiger Stacker. He probably knows of of some cat coins. I'm sure he could let you know. I think he was in the hospital. I don't know if he's still in the hospital. Tiger Stacker. He's having some health issues. Iowa Man Gold Cat coins. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Actually, know a website that might have them. They're not cheap though, but they have most years probably in stock. If you're interested, I could let you know about that. Um, but yeah, they're not. It's not a coin you normally see. I don't even. I think where I got it was from a website. It was basically just like a random 1/10 ounce. I didn't know what I would get, and they basically sent me the cat and the dog because the price was so ridiculously cheap. I think it was somewhere around $200 for that coin, um, for the 1/10. So yeah, it was crazy. It might have even been less than 200 for the 1/10 back then. So I didn't know what I would get. So they just sent me those coins, and I was kind of disappointed because it's something I never heard of before. Yeah, there's actually a coin from Mongolia. It's a gold coin of what is it? I think it's a tiger, and it actually has a diamond like in its eye or eyes. It has like a diamond or diamonds on the eyes. So I've actually seen that coin from. I think it's from Mongolia. I'm not 100% sure, but there is a tiger coin with a diamond on it. It's a gold coin. And I actually know a seller who's selling that coin right now if you're interested. um, but yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's after 1 a.m. in the morning, and I need to get to bed. I just want to thank everyone for showing up tonight. I really appreciate you guys, especially those of you who stood till the end. Thank you all so much for joining me. And like I always say, guys, stack